there was a neighbor who said the day after he went missing, Katie stepped outside and they just heard this like blood curdling scream. And she was outside screaming his name. And then she just like doubled over and fell on the pavement. And for days, she left a blanket, food, shoes outside for him. And this person was like, it was the most heartbreaking thing. And she was like crying, right? Because my assumption is she's a mom. And that hits you. You know what I mean? It chokes me up. Like, it hits me. I could not fucking imagine that, right? So I understand completely when Chris feels like even something is being insinuated about her. And I understand why he gets upset and immediately wants to come to her defense. He loves her. It's what
you have a strong foundation. And a lot of people say they can't, and they can, especially when you got to look down deep. And you got to pick yourself up and you got to move forward every single day. Because you don't know what tomorrow's answers may bring. We may wake up tomorrow and get the answers. We may get something and Sebastian comes home. We may. Because God knows we pray for it. It is.
I hope you get the answer to your prayers. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I really, really want Sebastian found. I think we all want the same thing. We all.
I think there's so many people out there that would love to see this case come to a positive end.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Chris, it is just ridiculous.
Can I ask you something in a positive light? Is there anything that you think creators can do better to help? Like, what can we do to help your family, including Seth? What can we do? What can we do to make this better for everybody and bring him home?
We thank everybody that has been spreading the flyers. And keep in mind, when I say this, I'm saying this not to bash, but I don't care how the flyers are put out, as long as it's the correct information and it's out there being used.
Okay.
And I'm saying this for all three parents. And no, I haven't talked to Seth in a while, but I am going to speak for him when I say this. There's not enough resources until he is found that we could ask for. Because one, I don't know what to ask for. People have done flyers, they've done billboards. I mean, yeah, some of the negative stuff has kept his name in the spotlight. As much as I can't stand the negativity, yes, his name's in the spotlight. You know, I don't know what else to do. I mean,
I know.
Other than stand everybody in this country toe to toe, side by side, and walk from one end of it to the other, I don't know what to do.
Right, because you don't know what you don't know. Like, yeah, I get it.
I mean, and I do appreciate God from every ounce inside of me. We appreciate everything that everybody has done and that they continue to do.
Now,
you know, I've just been sitting back and listening because I think it's a good thing sometimes just open your ears and hear what people are saying. You know, for me personally, my biggest hang up, and Chris, we talked about this as well, is that Katie has been so quiet. Now, there's two reasons why I can understand Katie being quiet. One, every time y'all come out and talk, it's ripped apart. I get that. And two, she may not be very good or do very well at public speaking. Okay. But I think that the issue that people have is that they haven't been able to humanize Katie because Katie has been so far away from the situation. And I think that people in general, in order to humanize somebody, they have to feel like they know the person. Does that make sense? Even if we don't know them at all, we have to feel like we can understand them or relate to them. And the fact that Katie has been so quiet, it puts a lot of people off. Now, Katie has the right to be quiet, you know. But on the same note, if Katie has the right to be quiet, then people have the right to question the quietness. It's kind of a 50-50. So unfortunately, you know, for you come out and talk. You don't have a problem doing that. It is what it is, right? And you speak for Katie a lot of the times, as I would expect you to do because you're her husband, right? That's what we do in the South. My question is there going to be a time that Katie is going to not speak to you two? Because like I've said to you before, I think that's pointless, right? But to go out and speak directly to Sebastian, or respectfully, is the reason that that's not happening because you're worried about whether he would be able to hear it or not? Like, is there a reason that she hasn't directly addressed him?
She has, in some interviews, directly addressed him, especially when people ask the question if Sebastian could hear you right now or he's watching this. Katie has addressed Sebastian directly.
It's been quite some time, though. Would you agree?
Right. And I want everybody to stop for one quick second. I want to rewind something here on you. In October, we had Halloween, one of Sebastian's favorite holidays. He's not home.
Right.
Thanksgiving, our family dinner table is incomplete. December 7th, people couldn't leave the day alone.
Sure couldn't.
Christmas is coming up. Once again, we have an incomplete holiday. New Year's.
So she's just
Valentine's Day. And then right after Valentine's Day, what is the next one?
Well, let's hope he's home by then instead of thinking.
Amen. Amen. But everybody wants to know why she doesn't talk. Maybe because she's a grieving mother. Maybe this is one of the worst stretches of the year for any person in this world who has had to deal with a personal tragedy, losing a loved one, anything. It's not that she doesn't want to talk, but respecting the fact.
We lost you, I think. We lost you.
What I was saying is, when she's ready to talk, she'll talk. And I just ask that you respect the facts. It is the holidays. She is grieving. Seth is grieving. Everybody grieves in their own ways. Just have some respect about it.
Yeah. You know,
A lot of people are saying that you guys aren't doing anything. Is there things that you guys are doing that you're just not broadcasting?
We don't broadcast what we do because it doesn't, one, like you said before, it gets twisted.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, sometimes not having what we do broadcasted is actually a lot more effective because we can focus on doing what we need to do. Finding Sebastian, looking into things, whatever we need to do. Sometimes it's best not publicized.
Yeah, I mean, look,
You know,
guys have got a photo of everybody searching, and that's torn apart, right?
Well, I'm going to put this out there, and I can't, God, I can't stand this for the life of me.
Well, can I just say something? There are things that I've personally heard, and this is not from Chris and Katie, okay? There was a situation talking, y'all know we've been in the neighborhood talking to people. I'm gonna cry, don't fucking judge me, but there was a neighbor who said the day after he went missing, Katie stepped outside and they just heard this like blood curdling scream. And she was outside screaming his name. And then she just like doubled over and fell on the pavement. And for days, she left a blanket, food, shoes outside for him. And this person was like, it was the most heartbreaking thing. And she was like crying, right? Because my assumption is she's a mom and that hits you. You know what I mean? It chokes me up. Like it hits me. I could not fucking imagine that, right? So I understand completely when Chris feels like even something is being insinuated about her. And I understand why he gets upset and immediately wants to come to her defense. He loves her. It's what he's supposed to do.
Right, like I said earlier, he's being a protective husband, right? Like, I get it.
People are going to push back because they're saying already, like, no, you cared more about the truck. To clarify, that right there was going to lead to another 100 live streams saying, boom, Chris is guilty. So it's not that he cared about the truck over Sebastian. He cares about, as he said, the misinformation and disinformation, or half of the information being out there that leads to hours of speculation that does not result or even help Sebastian be found because it's not based on facts. So no, he didn't care about the truck. Just being simple-minded.
Well, once again, that's where people, they have their opinions. And I've stated the fact.
Well, opinions don't write a probable cause affidavit, and people need to remember that. Your feelings about people and maybe them being shady or, whatever, and I'm talking to the creators and the viewers, they don't write a PCA, right? You have to have evidence. And as we all know, right now, there is no evidence against anybody. So to start an investigation and hire a private intelligence agency and have them come out the gate after Chris and Katie is wild to me. Wild to me. What kind of intelligence agency starts an investigation with suspects in mind? It's fucking wild. So anyway, your facts, your feelings don't write a PCA.
Actually, some of their feelings did write out a whole.
Well, they wrote out an injunction, but not a PCA, not a probable cause, right? Come on, like,
that's not even gonna
and you have to be in true. I've been in true crime a really long time. You guys know me from the shows and stuff, but like, you have to be able to bend with the evidence, right? You have to. You can have an idea of something, but you have to bend your theory with the evidence. And right now, We all hate it, but there is no evidence,
What
you
they're
guys.
calling recent speculation surrounding the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, the Sumner County teen who's been missing for more than 9 months. Jaxie Pigeon joins us now in studio with an update from officials. Jaxie.
Well, Megan, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office is speaking out after recent surveillance video circulated on social media showing a person in a green hoodie. Officials say the individual is seen walking near Sebastian and his mother at Texas Roadhouse the night before he went missing, causing some to speculate the person could be involved in the teen's disappearance. Because of that, detectives addressed those rumors. The statement from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office says in part, quote, "We can confirm that after a thorough discussion with this individual, there is no evidence linking them to Sebastian's disappearance. We appreciate the vigilance and cooperation from the public and all those involved in the search for Sebastian. However, we also urge the community to approach social media rumors with caution, as misinformation can distract from the real efforts to find Sebastian."
Have you ever heard me sing? Listen to me now. You know I'd rather be alone than be without you, don't you know? Has anyone ever given anything to you? In your darkest hour, did you ever